it's Lindsay from the blog Books for Christian Girls, and today I am wrapping up November. Cannot believe I'm wrapping up November, but here I am, wrapping up November. What? Yes. November, you've left us. It's now December, which the lipstick I'm wearing is a teaser into next week's video, which is Christmassy. So red lipstick, Christmas, got it, yeah. In all actuality though, I just got this lipstick and I really love it, so there's that too. I've looked everywhere for a natural red lipstick and I finally found some, so I'm so excited. I am not a beauty guru, so let's just get that out of the way. I just had to share though, I'm so excited about this lipstick. So let's get started with the actual point of this video, and that is November's books are reviewed on the blog BFCG. So let's get started. As always, we have a Mandy book, and that's Mandy book number 32, Mandy and the Seaside Rendezvous by Lois Gladys Leopard. Pretty sure this title gave me trouble back in the A to Z book challenge. Yeah, it's still giving me trouble, y'all. Okay, so not so much Mandy and Joe as the last book. Pity, 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 y'all, pity. Oh, Mandy and Joe, y'all. Mandy and Joe, eh! No, okay, so Mandy and Joe. Not really much in this book, and this one was kind of like meh for me. I mean, I still love it. I still gave it like 3 stars. But it wasn't until that very last chapter and that very, very last page. Oh, y'all. The 6th to last line on the very last page is what gets me. And only if you have read this book do you need to go see what that was. Don't spoil it for yourself. I'm telling you, you don't want to. It's so cute. Okay, fangirling aside, I can't tell you why because of spoilers why I love that last page so much. Correction, in the single book it's the 2nd to last page. In the collection it is the last page. I can't tell you why I'm fangirling. I want to tell you why, but I can't tell you why. So yes, the Mandy books, they get better as they go on, in my opinion, especially with the Mandy and Joe feels, because I'm a little shipper at heart, let's be honest. So, this was Mandy book number 32, which was reviewed. Also reviewed was Ivy Introspective, that's a fun title, by Kellen Roth. I gave this book 3 stars. It was really cute. It's the 2nd book in the Alice and Ivy Chronicles series. And while I'm kind of putting this into the whole pre-teen and pre/teen area of this video, I don't know if I would recommend it for preteens just because of some topics are discussed, even though our main girls are around that age. It's still really cute though, and I loved Ivy. I thought she was an absolute sweetheart and I loved following her around. Didn't review that many preteen books obviously this month, unlike last month where there was like 5. But teen side, okay y'all, get ready for fangirliness. Dandelion Dust by Faith L. Potts. I still have to get my hands on a physical copy of this, and do you know why? Because I rated it 4.5 stars, and y'all will be seeing it in my favorite books of 2017 video. Oh, y'all. Oh my goodness, I have not been so captivated by a book in a long time. You know, like the books that you literally hug after you've finished reading them and just do like a big deep sigh? I don't have those too often, but I did with this one. Oh my goodness. It's just, oh god, yeah, okay. I'm trying not to fangirl and I'm obviously failing, but there was like so much faith content and it was lovely, and I might have also had liquid falling from my eyes, which was weird because that doesn't happen, and honestly, it's a novella and it's almost 200 pages, so that I was so emotional during like that short of a length of a book was like, oh, but yes, I will be talking about this more in my favorite books of 2017, which is, I don't know when that's coming out, probably January. Another teen book that was reviewed was The Journey by Elise Baltz. It's either Elise or Elise. I'm sorry, I know I've asked you this before. I personally gave this one 2 stars because of all the kissing and then certain comments. It got a little much for me. It is overall a pretty cute read, and in all honesty, I do want to give it a little bit of a higher rating just because the main couple is so stinking cute, y'all. It's ridiculous how cute they are. But they do get really kissy, and there are some comments I wasn't comfortable with. It kind of reminded me of like fanfic in a way, like fan fiction, but I guess what I mean by fan fiction is it's kind of become a guilty pleasure for me, this series. The first book was set in a boarding school, which y'all, I don't know why I'm weak for boarding school stories. I was homeschooled, but I am. I don't know, there's just something about the book 1 and now book 2 that they just feel like a guilty pleasure read to me. And honestly, it is a good story. I do enjoy it. I just wish it wasn't so kissy. It gets very kissy at points. But I do have to admit, I really liked how the main girl, Ella, was trying to find a friend who happens to be a guy named Lucas. Not a love interest, just a friend. She was dedicated to finding a friend. So props to that. I want to see that more in Christian fiction, is the friendships. It's not everything has to be romantically shippable, people. Just friends are okay too. Don't know how we're missing that in Christian fiction, but I feel like we're missing quite a lot of that. But while yes, this series has been super cute and fun and very fun, but I really have to hesitate recommending this series at all because of some content, so I'm cautious on that. And our Janice Thompson book of the month was Angel Incognito by Janice Thompson. I gave this book 4 stars, and oh my goodness, y'all, the secondhand embarrassment. Have y'all ever had the books where you're just like, you're literally flushing for them because of all the embarrassment? Ah, secondhand embarrassment. I have a little write-up here on my guideline thing so I don't get too off topic with these, which, yeah, it works well. She's a reporter. He doesn't know that, but he means well, and there's tons of spiritual content. Sound like a good read? It was, because it's a Janice Thompson book. Okay, so really though, y'all, this was a fantastic Janice Thompson book. I just enjoyed this one so much. Oh, there's just something about her books that just make me feel just happy inside, and this one did that as well. So yes, this was our Janice Thompson book of the month. So a guidepost mystery I reviewed was Tea Room for Two by Susan Page Davis. I gave this one 3 stars, and it was actually really cute. I wouldn't say it was the best guidepost mystery I read, but it really has started the series well. It had a good leading off point, and there's a continuing mystery of this ring. Where did this ring come from? So it's fascinating, and I'm looking forward to continuing the rest of the series so I can find out what happened to this ring. I don't know. Okay, y'all, the next book was A Love Inspired Suspense. Da, 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 da. It was Critical Condition by Sandra Orchard. I gave this one 3.5 stars. It's book 3 in one of her Love Inspired Suspense series. While I haven't been enjoying her Love Inspired Suspense books as much as her books published by Revell, I still have really been enjoying this series. We've got an undercover agent, and then she's a nurse, and there's murders happening at her hospital, so what's happening? I don't know. Actually, I do know because I read it, but. So the main guy in this is an undercover agent, and I don't know about y'all, but that just, undercover anything kind of gets me excited. So that's kind of an automatic, like, ooh, tell me more kind of thing. So let me tell you more in case you're like me. She is a nurse, and there's murders happening, mysterious deaths happening at the hospital where she works at, and no one's believing her except for this undercover agent. So it's just another really cute, kind of suspenseful read, so. Speaking of suspenseful. Okay, y'all. Speaking of kind of suspense, creepiness, hello serial killer book. This is Vanishing Point by Lisa Harris. I gave this book 3 stars because, hello, creepy serial killer vibes to this one. So it's a little, not exactly warm and fuzzy, if you get what my meaning. But there is a lot of faith content, so positive. And then our main girl in this is diverse, so positive. Y'all know how nervous and excited I've been about this, and I think I had a right to be. So this is book 4 in the Nikki Boyd Files series, though it's kind of connecting, kind of not. We do see Nikki, but from another person's point of view, which I personally enjoyed that fact. Because you know, like sometimes when you read a book that has romance and you only see those 2 people's point of view and you know they're going to get together and they got lovey-dovey eyes at each other. So you don't really see like a unbiased point of view. I like seeing an unbiased point of view. This book is set from 2004 and then goes all the way to present day. It kind of time skips a bit. It was neat seeing Nikki before the 3 books and now after the 3 books. Oh my word, y'all. I was on the edge of my seat reading this because I want everything to end well, y'all. I always want things to end well. That doesn't always happen, but I like it when it tries. And I can't say anything because of spoilers, but I have the content review. But if you don't like creepy kind of stuff, then avoid this one. I mean, there is some romance though between our main FBI agent girl and then a detective, and personally I thought it was just a little bit forced. It felt a little weird that, you know, they were having feelings for each other and there's a serial killer on the loose. But I mean, life does go on, so I guess that's that, but it just felt a little forced for me overall. Not an easy book to read. Can I just leave it like that? I did appreciate the hopeful message of this book. I mentioned this in my final thoughts in my review, that the reason I read Christian suspense books is because I know there's always going to be a hopeful message, even if things don't necessarily all end well per se. Like, it's not the desired outcome, especially when it has to do with murder. But in this case, there really was a hopeful message, and I loved that fact. So that just made it so much better for me personally. But it is a serial killer, and it is murders, and it is a lot of murders, so it never gets insanely detailed, of course. But if you're sensitive to that kind of stuff, not a series for you. Okay, y'all, the next book I reviewed was a historical mystery-ish, and that was Vanishing Act by Jennifer Ali and Lisa Karen Richardson. This is book 2 in the Charms and Deceit series, which I reviewed book 1 a while back. And I've been having book 2 and book 3 on my TBR shelf for such a long time, and I finally got to them, so I reviewed book 2 this month. So in all honesty, looking at the bios, this was probably the one I was going to be the least interested of in the trilogy, and that's mainly because the main girl is kind of like a medium in this, like, you know, like not a fortune teller, but someone who talks to spirits. That's kind of iffy to me. So the fact that this was a Christian fiction book dealing with that, I was intrigued. I'm like, what in the world? So I wanted to try it, and I did, and it all ends well. But it was a little weird, though, reading about it, but I really appreciated that the authors were constantly showing the behind-the-scenes, obviously, about it. Like, okay, this is how we do this, meaning we being mediums kind of thing. So it's like, it's obviously not true. But it's just interesting to see the whole behind the scenes and that they kind of debunked it while they were talking about it. Does that make sense? I feel like that's kind of the best way to explain it. Also, the fact that I reviewed 2 books back to back this month with the word vanishing in the title is not lost on me. So while I was unsure about the whole medium type thing, it was a really interesting plot in my opinion. What really sold me on this book was the banter between our main 2 characters. He's a Pinkerton agent, and again, agent anything, undercover anything gets my attention. I want to know more. So yes, he was a Pinkerton agent, and again, I like Pinkerton agent books. I gave this one 3.5 stars. I liked how family was a pretty big aspect of this book, and I'm looking forward to reviewing book number 3. Another historical semi-mystery I reviewed was A Dangerous Legacy by Elizabeth Camden. I gave this book 3.5 stars. It's not technically a mystery, but I got mystery-ish vibes from it. Even this cover has a bit of a mystery vibe to it. If you've heard me talk about this author at all in any of my videos, I kind of call her like a guilty pleasure author. And what I mean by that is she always writes historical facts so much. It is so impressive. The author is actually a research librarian, so it's kind of perfect for her. But then there's always a few comments that I don't like that I didn't necessarily think needed to be added. So that's normally the gist of Elizabeth Camden's books for me. But as someone who has read all her books, now I own all of them except her last release, which came out in February. Because of personal reasons, I just did not enjoy that one. But for this one, I've read all her books now. I would say this is her cleanest book. There was no comments. So I'm like, oh, I liked that. I personally would have liked more faith content, but I did find all the Morse code stuff interesting. And it was just a really unique read that I feel like only Elizabeth Camden can pull off. Are you ready for the next one? I feel like I have been waiting for this book forever. How? I'm not sure. But it's here, and I've read it, and I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. And what is that book? It is Out of the Ordinary by Jen Turano. Happy sigh. Harrison. Harrison is my favorite. I'd like to start a petition for more Harrisons in Christian fiction. Maybe name some like Nathaniel or Joshua. Hey, I like that idea. How do I get started with this petition? Because I want this to become an actual thing. So growing up in a family of women, you would think Harrison would, you know, kind of be able to follow conversations, but no. He can't. It's great. Honestly though, him and Asher from the first book, their friendship is just, it's goals, y'all. It's goals. It's hilarious. I was literally crying while laughing so hard while they are comparing romance books and the techniques to try to woo their ladies, and it was brilliant, y'all. It was brilliant. Friendship was such a big part of this book, and again, yay, we are finally getting friendship stories in Christian fiction. Okay, on the side, but I'll still take it. And oh, y'all, it was great. It was great. I also felt like this one had more faith content than any of her other books, so I'm A-okay with that. I'd love to see more of it. I'm sad we're getting closer to the end of this trilogy, but I'm so excited for book 3 now. Another super cute novella I reviewed this month was Waiting for His Return by Carrie Taransky. I gave this book 4 stars. I am not sure how Miss Carrie does this, but every single book I have read by her, I have adored it, and oh, so cute. So cute. This was no different, obviously. Her characters are always fantastic, and there's always so much faith content, and it's always so clean, and it's safe for teens to read, and oh, so lovely. So lovely. Since it is a novella, I was a teeny bit worried it would feel rushed to me like most novellas, but it really didn't, so that was another positive, and oh, it was so cute, y'all. Okay, and the last book I'm going to talk about today is Planted with Hope by Trisha Goyer and Sherry Gore. I gave this book 4 stars. I reviewed the first book of this a couple months ago, and I found it so adorably precious and so sweet. This one was no different. It also has a great cover, good lessons, and tons of spiritual content. I personally really loved Hope and could relate to her in so many ways. Emma was also quite precious, and those last 2 chapters were the best. Oh, another super sweet book in this series. Okay, wow, so November, we're done. I guess we're done. Wow. I do have a vlog though at the end of this video coming up here in just a couple seconds of my November, what was it like? I do have some bookstore clips in there if you're curious, so you can stay tuned. I'd love to know though if you've read any of these, what did you think of them? Are any now added to your TBR? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do want to say thank you all so much for your so sweet comments on last week's video. It was the history of BFCG. If you haven't watched it, it's linked up here, and I hope you enjoy it. Next week's video will be a Christmas themed video, so y'all can look forward to that. I'm Lindsey from the blog booksforchristiangirls.blogspot.com, where I post a new review every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have a new video on this channel every Thursday, and I'm on Instagram every other day. Bye, y'all!